Hello and welcome once again to Phone Age News. I hope everyone's well. There's such a lot been happening, I'm just going to delve straight in with this week's weather report. Where better to start than with Kenneth. He's been a very naughty boy. Cyclone Kenneth, as you know, barreled into the east coast of Africa during the week. And look at the total devastation that it's caused. Just going to show you some pictures. In Mozambique, 700,000 people affected. Quarter of a metre of torrential rain. Dear me. Terrible. Another paradise lost. Oh well. What next? Oh yes. Here we are on Tropical Tidbits. And we've got another storm brewing. This time, India. We're just going to run this. This is at the moment, and we're going to run it through and see where it's going, or where it's expected to go. It could go anywhere, this. It's going to be a monster. And it's called Fanny. So it's a big monster Fanny coming. Yeah, watch this. (939) it gets down to at one point. Then it goes into, it's going to dump a lot of rain on Bangladesh, so they're going to be flooded as well. Next item. What have we got? Chicago shatters record for spring snowfall. This is from 5 News Chicago from the 28th, yesterday. What's this? No, I don't want to watch that live, thanks. Not unless it's free, which it won't be. History was made as the area was hammered with a record snowfall, end of April. 2.5 inches of snow at the airport, all-time record snowfall in late spring. Record goes back to 1910, 109 years ago. Numerous areas over 5 inches of snow. And there he is, mowing grass in a blizzard. Bloody idiots out there. At least I put a thicker jacket on. Hundreds of flights cancelled. Oh, but a bit of a warm-up's on the way. So it's they're going to have a bit of weather whiplash from freezing up to the into the 60s. Change in 2 days. It'll be snowing again end of May. How do they say? What's that saying now? I can't remember it. Ne'er cast a clout till May is out. That means you can get snow till end of May. It's a very old saying, but most people never heard of it, especially these young ones. Right, Central US expecting severe storms, flooding and snow. This is from today from ABC News. What's going on about the snowstorm in Chicago, Northern Illinois. Raging blizzard in Montana. 30 inches of snow. 60-mile-an-hour winds. Oh, shut up. Not interested. I'm trying to do a news report here. Resulted in 2 tornadoes. Golf ball hail at 75 mile an hour. Heavy rainfall from the Midwest into the Great Lakes is now forecast. Denver's more snow. Severe storms likely to develop in the plains, damaging winds, hail, tornadoes, Texas and Oklahoma. Blah, blah, blah. As the southwestern system ends into the plains, more severe weather is expected, and they're already flooded. So that's going to do them well, isn't it? Oh my God! Risks may increase on Tuesday for damaging hail and winds and tornadoes. Large parts of central US this week. Significant precipitation, which means it's going to piss it down again. What's next? Oh, it's been raining there as well. This is from the Times of India. Unseasonal rain damages crops in 55,000 acres across Telangana. Hyderabad. Unseasonable rain and hailstorms have destroyed crops in over 55,000. I've just said that. Spurring the government to ring alarm bells. Take stock of the situation in Das hinterland. Paddy and paddy and mango crop were the worst hit, according to initial estimates. Where was Mick then? He got away with it. More chances of more damages in store if the rain continues for a few more days. Oh no, this is from last week. The exact loss could be more, but preliminary information says paddy has been damaged. So he's probably in hospital now. Mango's been damaged and other vegetable crops. Help is at hand. Bananas, papaya, sweet lime, green chili, and other horticulture crops were also damaged. It's flattened everything then. Why didn't they just say it's flattened everything? Ooh. See anything else interesting? In Hyderabad, the unseasonable rain brought the much needed relief to denizens, that means inhabitants, of the concrete jungle from simmering heat as temperatures plummeted. So they're having weather whiplash there as well. But the rain also brought with it woes of inundated roads and power outages. I'm glad I'm not there. This is a few days old from Time magazine. Vietnam just recorded a new peak temperature of 110 degrees, report says. And there's a vicious feedback loop. Let's use electricity to run fans to cool down, using more fossil fuels to run the fans, which makes it warmer. So we need more fans, which makes it warmer. So we need more fans. Easy, innit? Vietnam has logged the new highest ever temperature, with the mercury climb to a sweltering 110 Fahrenheit in April, adding to the country to a growing list of heat milestones achieved globally. Huang Qui district, located in Ha Tinh province, about 150 miles south of the capital Hanoi, experienced the record-breaking heat on Saturday. The area normally averages in the 80s. So that's 20 degrees C above normal. And it's not even summer yet. Fuck that. Continuing sign of long-term climate change globally. In January, record-breaking scorch in Australia, 120 degrees. Last summer, Japan, 106. Well, they'll beat that this year. They'll be 120 this year. Protesters demanding leaders take urgent action. 1.6 million students took to the streets in 120 countries last month. Pointless. Global temperatures could rise by 1.5 C. It's already gone past that. Threshold that scientists will bring dire consequences. Or did they not think we're having dire consequences already? I don't know. Oh, here's a consequence. Desert locust swarms threaten Iranian farmlands. Well, they've just had a load of flooding there as well. As African regions head into warmer months, like everywhere else, nymph locusts are growing their wings and migrating to Saudi Arabia, says the head of Iran's Agricultural Jihad Ministry's Department of Plant Protection. Sadly, the locust problem in Saudi Arabia has not been addressed fundamentally. That's because all the fundamentalists are hiding in Western society. And therefore, a high volume of swarms of locusts have migrated to Iran in search of food, he said. Attacking swarms will leave the country in May. But if they lay eggs before leaving, who's that? But that didn't stop the wintry blast sweeping across the Midwest. I keep getting interrupted. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's the next item. Whoa. Spoilers. Where was I? Calling the desert locust attacks on Iran since February unprecedented, Daghahi accused the Persian Gulf littoral states of being languid in fighting the rapacious insects. They've even been saying it's a Western plot against them. Unbelievable. 200,000 hectares of agricultural land in Iran could be devastated by the locusts. Only 40,000 hectares of farmland has so far been prepared. So, whatever food doesn't get eaten by the locusts, it'll be full of chemicals and be unfit for human consumption anyway. He cautioned that a failure to control the locusts would jeopardise how much money that is, which works out at $30 billion worth of agricultural products. I'm telling you, seriously going to have food shortages this year. Every country's getting battered. Right. Over to where I live. Poisonous caterpillar outbreak causing misery in Milton Keynes. This is from Milton Keynes Citizen. Toxic caterpillars that cause severe rashes and even asthma attacks have been spotted all around Milton Keynes. The harmless-looking brown-tail moth caterpillars are covered in tiny barbed and poisonous hairs that results in a dermatitis rash-type rash similar to poison ivy on human skin. Look at that. That looks sore. You don't even have to touch the creature to be affected, as the hairs can be shed and spread through the air on breezy days. If they get caught in the mouth or throat, they can cause asthma sufferers to wheeze and other people to experience burning, irritation, or itchiness. She saw one in the garden, and then her neck was covered in a bright red rash. Look at that. Looks harmless, doesn't it? But we don't get them here. They can stay in bleeding Milton Keynes as much as they like caterpillars. Caterpillars are native to Europe and Asia. Recent invasions of them have been reported in the US and also coastal areas of Britain. Milton Keynes is on the coast. They're coming inland. They're going to take over. They typically emerge in April to begin feeding prolifically on garden foliage and shrubs, occasionally molting to shed hairs as they grow. The rash results from both a chemical reaction to a toxin in the hairs, and a physical irritation as the barbed hairs become embedded in the skin. Respiratory distress from inhaling the hairs can be serious. Not bad, yeah. Yes, some species diminished, some gonna take advantage, and all the pests and nuisances are gonna increase. Stuff we don't want. What have we got next? New York Times. What's that doing? Here we go. An emperor penguin colony in Antarctica vanishes. A colony in Halley Bay lost more than 10,000 chicks in 2016 and hasn't recovered. Some adults have relocated. So they say. For 3 years, beginning in 2016, researchers have found an almost total breeding failure. The colony at Halley Bay has all but disappeared. It's because the ice has collapsed where they had the nests. They haven't been able to lay their eggs and bring up the chicks. It's awful. One thing after another. What have we got now? Oh yes. Airborne microplastic particles found falling on remote mountain peaks. This is from a couple of weeks ago, Science News. Plastic litter is an increasing global issue and one of the key environmental challenges we face on global scale, said the researcher. Microplastics are everywhere, you don't say. The tiny plastic particles have made their way to Earth's poles, to the bottom of the deepest ocean trenches, and now to the peaks of French mountains. Scientists have measured wind-blown microplastic particles in a remote part of the Pyrenees mountain range in France. The discovery was detailed in a study published this week in the journal Nature Geoscience. Well, if they're up there, they're everywhere. You're breathing them in. For 5 months, researchers collected particles settling out of the atmosphere and into a 10 square foot collection device, it's a square metre, at Bernadou's meteorological station in the Pyrenees. The device captured an average of 365 and rising plastic particles each day. If microplastics fall across the rest of the country at the same rate, they settle from the sky at the top of the Pyrenees. France is blanketed by 2,000 tonnes of plastic particles each year. Do you know, I think this could be responsible for the insect apocalypse. Because insects breathe through the skin, and if the little pores get clogged up with micro nanoplastics, they're going to die. They're going to suffocate. Apparently, locusts and poisonous caterpillars aren't affected. Probably the exception to the rule. Anyway, that's what I think. And what have we got next? Oh yes. How mad's this? If I can get rid of this. I don't want to visit your site. That really is a high-rise. Sci-fi plan to hang a wandering skyscraper from asteroid orbiting Earth is unveiled. This is mad. Radical skyscraper design from a New York City firm will be built from the sky down instead of the ground up. They've fully designed this. It's crazy. They've done all the specs and everything. Analemma Tower is set to be suspended from an orbiting asteroid 50,000 kilometers above the Earth. Tower will move in a figure-8 pattern between the northern and southern hemispheres each day. Solar panels will generate power and water will be collected from cloud condensation and rainwater. Building will be broken up into sections such as business, worship, dining, shopping and entertainment. Sounds like a great place to hang out with your mates. The world's tallest building ever. The only way to leave is by parachute. Look at that. An artist's impression. Have a look at this. What's that? I'm inquisitive. Replay. It's an aeroplane. Upside down. Through the course of history, humanity has been able to affect the environment on increasing scales. You're not kidding there. Features. Just keep repeating the same. I love these pictures. Can you imagine if they actually built this? Business will be conducted at the lower end of the towers, and sleeping quarters will be positioned 2/3 of the way up the building. That'd be good, that, if you're a light sleeper, because gravity won't be very high there. Residents will enjoy fresh water, including microplastics, from condensation of clouds and rainwater, which will be collected. Oh, and they purify it, so they take the microplastics out. He's looking up from underneath. Oh, that's just crazy. Yeah, somebody coming back to Earth after a short break. Slowly. Oops. It's playing up a bit. I wanted to show you this bit. Yeah. There's the asteroid and its tethers above the satellites, and it's just suspended above the aeroplanes and the clouds. Oh, watch it crash into that mountain. Under construction. Yeah, what they designed the inside. Shape-shifting windows change their size in height in order to deal with the pressure and temperature differentials. Got it all worked out. Anyway, this gave me an idea how to save the planet. This is the decarbonator. What this is instead of hanging a building from an asteroid, you get an asteroid and you tether it a great big long tube to it. And I reckon this will work just like, you know, when you put a tube in some liquid and the water rises up the tube. So will the same thing work with the atmosphere? Because the pressure will force the air, the atmospheric pressure will force the air up the tube, and you can have all these different filters on the inside, and you might have some solar powered fans on the outside to help to give it a bit more oomph, and then just filter out all the carbon dioxide into space, and all the other gases can be filtered out and released back into the atmosphere. What a good idea! I think it might just work. Speaking of atmospheric gases, here is methane. Over the past several weeks, I've been looking at the data from the two METOP satellites provided by NOAA at 4 different altitudes and working out an average. And as you can see, I've plotted it on a graph after feeding the data into the Doomatron. It went down initially, and then it went up a bit, and then for a few weeks it came down again, as you see, these are actual averages. But last week, after going down, it shot up by 3.4 parts per billion. By doing a 3-week rolling average, the Doomatron predicts another rise of 3.6 parts per billion by the 4th of May. We can expect huge increases in methane emissions once Siberia gets 20 degrees above normal this coming summer. I'm afraid the Earth is coming to the end of an era in its history. And here's the other end. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to wrap it up now. Until next time. Please try and enjoy what little time you have left. Don't forget to check out one of my favourite tunes in the description box underneath. And if you'd like to send me a private message, you can check out my email in the About bit on my channel. Much love to everyone. Tatty bye!